What's going on, people? I ain't got no good news for you. It's not. It's painful, man. It's painful. This transfer window has been so frustrating. You've been with me and followed my frustration throughout. We've got 2 signings on the brink of a third. Should be announced within the next 24 hours. It's Harry Maguire. Centre back was a very, very key position. Right back as well was a key position. But one of the most important would have been a creative midfielder. And whether you want to call him a support striker, inverted winger, a number 10, whatever you want to call it, Dybala would have been a very important signing, a big signing. And we have pulled out the deal. Manchester United have pulled out of the Dybala deal. Now, I spoke about this in the last video when we said obviously the deal was agreed, but Dybala wasn't convinced in terms of whether or not he should leave Juventus. And the issue I had at the time, and it's one that you might say has proved fatal in this deal collapsing, is Dybala's desire to play for Manchester United. Now, we know that he wants to stay at Juventus. He never had any inkling, or he was never forcing himself a move. The issue was the club wanted to get rid of him. They wanted Lukaku, so they were trying to push him out. We know he was supposed to meet with Sarri over the weekend, but we know that he did not want to leave Juventus. That's the bottom line. Doesn't want to leave Juventus. It would take Juventus forcing him out, plus a lucrative financial offer to prize him away. And it brings up the question of someone's motivation to play for Man United. Di Maria was a scenario we had where he wanted to leave Real Madrid. He wanted to go to PSG. PSG didn't bid as much as we did to Real Madrid. Therefore, Real Madrid accepted our offer, not PSG's. But he wanted to leave Real Madrid, so he came to Man United and left for PSG a year after. His motivation for being at Manchester United wasn't to play for Man United and be a part of the future of Manchester United. That wasn't his intention, and that's why it broke down. If Dybala was to join, the reason for him coming would have been more to do with the fact that Juve didn't want him, rather than that he wanted to play for Man United. And that's not a great reason. And I did say on the last video, if Dybala is sold on the project that we have here under Solskjaer, then yes, I'll take him. But if he's just coming because we've paid him enough, then no, because that Dybala is not going to be good for us. A motivated Dybala is good for us. A player like that is bound to end in tears. So I'll read the words directly of Fabrizio Romano, who is one of a few journalists actually who's kind of broken this story this evening. And I'll quote exactly what he says. He says, Manchester United are now upset with the Paulo Dybala situation. The Argentinian has not agreed with the club about his wage, the commissions to his agent, the image rights. That's why Manchester United are seriously considering to give up on the deal with Juventus. Now, of course, whenever you sign someone, you have to agree their wages. But I'm in no doubt that whatever we offered him was, one, an increase in what he's getting at the moment, and two, somewhere around the higher earners at Manchester United. No, not on Sanchez's level, and probably not on De Gea's level, but probably around the Pogba level. What we do know is that he has got some image rights issues where he was sued by the company that owned part of his image rights, or maybe all of his image rights, because of work that he had done, I believe it is, with another company and they basically didn't get the money that they say they deserved. They sued him a fair amount of money, upwards of 30 million. So in him coming to Manchester United, where Man United would have to own 100% of his image rights, they would obviously have to clear up that whole situation with the third party. So it's like, well, do Man United pay that fine for him? Does Dybala pay it, or do they split it, etc., etc., whatever the issue is. So that's that one thing. We know the commission in terms of the agent. We reported via Fabrizio Romano that the agent fee that was offered, they wanted more. We don't know. I don't have a figure for that. And there were reports, however, of him wanting over 310,000 a week, as well as no 25% wage decrease if we don't qualify for the Champions League. Every player in the club has that in their contract. If he doesn't have it in, then it's going to create an issue. And other players are either going to ask for it to be put into their contract or taken out of their contract, should I say. Or they're going to probably push for moves, etc., etc. So those are a few of the issues surrounding this Dybala issue. But it's clear that if we had met those financial demands, to me anyway, it's clear that he would come. Which means his move is financially motivated more than anything else, which is an issue. Fabrizio Romano goes on to say, Dybala's agents have not received an official communication by Man United, and they are waiting to understand more about what is happening. Dybala himself is waiting too, but he's still not convinced by Man United's bid. He doesn't agree with the amount they've offered. If Woodward wants to sign him, he must improve the bid. If the deal with Juventus will be called off, Inter will try again for Romelu Lukaku with a new bid. Inter today had new contacts with, in quotes, Big Rom's agent, but Juventus are still interested. If the deal is called off, also, the Mario Mandzukic deal between Juve and Man United will be difficult to complete. So that is effectively, it could be free transfers out the window. Lukaku going one way, Mandzukic and Dybala coming the other way. However, we have heard in the last few minutes some more reports that Inter have actually increased their bid for Romelu Lukaku to 70 million euros plus 5 million add-ons. That equates to 68.5 million plus 4.5 million add-ons, which is 73 million total, which is closer to what we're looking for. I think we're looking more around the 75 to 80 million mark, but a million here, a million there, that deal is very possible. And the thing about that deal compared to the Dybala or any deal with Juventus is that the Juventus deal hinges on a player coming our way. So that deal has to be done by the 8th of August, because obviously that's when the English transfer deadline closes. However, after that deadline, we can sell players to window markets that are still open. And of course, the European market opens until I think it's September the 3rd, which means that after the 8th, when Juve no longer have a say or have any foot in the Lukaku deal, Inter will be the only club, you could say, in the offing. We know Napoli were interested, but they also didn't bid a substantial amount of money. Inter will be the only club in the reckoning, which means they have a free rein up until the end of August to get a deal done. 73 million, as I said, is a good amount of money. A couple million more might actually seal the deal. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Let's talk about whether or not he needs to be replaced, etc. I don't think we need to get another striker to replace him. For me, a winger, which I don't think we're going to get in this summer, but more importantly, a creative midfielder is what we need between now and the end of the transfer window, which is it's approaching very, very close. In terms of that whole Lukaku thing as well, Antonio Conte, after the Inter Milan preseason friendly with Tottenham, he said everyone said it was done for Lukaku to enter 2 weeks ago. Now they said it's done with Juventus, but if you don't have the agreement with the player and between the club, nothing will be done. Let's see what will happen. Then we got news about the bid, the increased bid from Juventus. Sorry, from Inter Milan. As I said, we still need a creative midfielder regardless of what happens with Lukaku. So Bruno Fernandes, that seems like the ideal. It seems like the ideal scenario. Like, why would you not go for it? The man has proven in Europe, granted, but in Portugal, granted, but he's shown that he is a goal-scoring midfielder. However, the BBC are reporting that Manchester United don't have an interest, or a strong enough interest anyway, in signing Bruno Fernandes. We were told that his future will become clearer after the Portuguese Super Cup game this evening. Matter of fact, I'm going to check that result between Sporting and Benfica. Wow. Benfica won 5-0. That's a battering. That's a battering. Bruno Fernandes did play. Played the full 90 minutes, got a yellow card, and they lost 5-0. They were down to 10 men after 89th minute. Yeah, they got battered. But we're still not 100% clear. Maybe we'll find out a bit more tomorrow, I don't know. But we're still not 100% clear. Reports are saying that Man United are interested. Solskjaer said he wants 1 or 2 deals before the end of the transfer window. One being Maguire. Who's the second? That is the question. Who's the second? We need a creative midfielder. We can't go in the season with the same midfield as last year. Sorry. It would be better because we've got 2 better defenders, but it ain't going to be good enough. For me, that puts the top 4 hopes in massive doubt. It's nowhere near secure at all. It's imperative we get a creative midfielder between now and the end of the transfer window. If we don't, we're literally leaving our top 4 hopes 50-50. Or you might say 33-33. If you consider that the 4th place between Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea ain't done no business, but they've got a bunch of players coming back on loan. Arsenal have done some good business in Ceballos and Pepe. Yes, we've done some decent business, but we needed more. We need more. I don't know what's happened with the Bruno Fernandes, but for me, that signing is imperative, especially if, as it looks like, the Dybala one's not going through. We have to get that creativity. We can't just rely on Pogba to do it all. Yeah. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Few days left. We'll see what happens. I'm saying if we don't get a creative midfielder between now and then the transfer window, we're in for a long, long season. That's it from me, guys. I'll be back definitely by the transfer window close, because deals will happen. We know Maguire's gonna sign, and there's gonna be other movement as well. In terms of Man City, we spoke about the Cancelo, Danilo swap part exchange deal. That looks like it's set to happen and be confirmed tomorrow. So that's Juve getting some funds for, obviously we know that they're trying to recoup the funds that they spent this summer on the likes of De Ligt. So that'll be 30 million euros of that, plus Danilo they'll be getting. So that's decent business there. They don't think that the whole Dybala thing's done. As far as I'm concerned, it's done. We ain't getting them. And if I'm honest, don't trust Ed Woodward. As far as I'm concerned, our business this summer is finished. It's done. Over. As you were, go back to work, do what you're doing, nothing to see here. Maguire comes in, and that's what we're rolling with for the start of the season. What I gotta say is, Solskjaer, good luck, man, because you've been done right up the proverbial and hung out to dry. Guys, hit the like and subscribe button. You're gonna be hearing some more from us. Got a live show tomorrow, Football Dugout, over on the Have Hope Football Hut, Football Terrace show. The TFT show we're filming that this week as well, and the next week, or this coming week the Premier League starts. So definitely you'll be hearing from us as those results come in. That's it from me with your transfer update.